Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Ernest Morrell. When I think of empathy, I think of two aspects that are crucial. One is, how can we be in solidarity with others? How can we honor their perspectives? How can we feel with them? The second aspect is, how can we take action based on those thoughts and feelings? A lot of times we think about empathy, we just think about the former. It's feeling bad for someone, it's worrying about them, but empathy is really about solidarity and action. So we want to say, for children especially, how can we hold up someone else's perspective so that it becomes as valuable, if not more valuable than our own? And once we do that, especially with those who are vulnerable or facing problems, how can we insert ourselves in a way that is helpful, that makes life better for them?
Empathy building is something we can practice in our own families every single day. It's not always so easy, and the first place to start is with yourself. Be empathetic to yourself. Life is not so easy all the time. Take a minute to say, how can I be more sensitive to the work that I'm doing as a caregiver or as a partner or as a family member in my extended family? Second, we can be empathetic and building those empathy skills with our children, with our teenagers, with our elders. We can say, how can we be more empathetic as a family? In so doing, we give ourselves the chance to practice what it means to say, I see you, I hear you, I understand you. And we also face challenges in that too, because it's not always so easy to hear and see and understand others. It is not. In our family, we can be honest and authentic about that. We can say, even though this feels hard, I'm trying to see you, I'm trying to hear you, I'm trying to understand you, and we can ask for forgiveness. We can say, I'm not always gonna do it right, but please forgive me. Let me try again, today, tonight, and tomorrow. We can celebrate those moments of empathy. When you see your child being kind to a pet, when you see your child being kind to a younger sibling, when you see your child really putting him or her or themselves in the shoes of another, reading about a character and saying, Mom, that character makes me want to cry. Stop and say, I love what an empathy builder you are. I love that I'm seeing you as an empathetic person. Really notice those moments of empathy. And then finally, we can reflect together and be empathetic together as a family by reading together of stories of people whose lives we are only just learning about, or by really asking for the stories of our own family members, knowing the generations that have come before us, the ancestors in our own family, to be empathetic to their struggles and their journeys. All of this is work that we do in reflecting as empathetic family members. We can go into the world together as empathetic family unit. We can say, how can we help others, people we don't even know yet? How can we be an empathetic family in the world or in our community? We can have a day each week called Empathy Action Day. And on that day, we can make a commitment to do something in the family, for ourselves, and for the world that takes empathy action.
The first community that any child is a part of is the home or household. And we can begin to model empathy in that community. If someone is feeling badly or is vulnerable, it affects us all. And slowly, as that child ages, we begin to expand that notion of the communities that we belong to. We want children to understand that those perspectives and holding those perspectives of others is important to being a global citizen, but we also want them to understand they can act. When we are in the role of educators and caregivers and parents, we can find opportunities where we can put our empathy into action. What's going on in the home? What's going on in our neighborhood? What's going on in our community? What's going on at your school? What's going on in our faith organization? And we can begin to ask a set of questions. Who are the most vulnerable people in this community? What are their needs? And what can we do? When we begin to consistently ask those questions, what are their needs and what can we do? We have the bookends of empathy and the beginnings of really inserting ourselves into the world as world changers.